Hey, what's going on? This is Sports Truth. I'm your favorite host in the entire world, Jordan Harris. Today we're talking about an article that ESPN posted that I thought was pretty interesting. So what they did is they listed their top 25 teams in the offseason. So 1 through 25, and all 25 teams, they wrote one player that they think is going to be the breakout player for that team. All right, so let's jump right into it. What I want to do is I want to read the excerpt about the Hurricanes in this article, and then I want to give my thoughts on it and talk about if I totally agree with this or if there's a player that I think should be ahead of this player as a potential breakout player this season. All right, so this article has the Hurricanes ranked number 24, and it says, we have not seen tight end Elijah Arroyo at his full potential because of a knee injury in 2022 that's limited his playing time with the Canes. So they believe Elijah Arroyo is the breakout player for our Hurricanes this coming season. And I'm sure a whole lot of y'all would agree with that because we've heard the offensive coordinator this offseason, Coach Dimples, as I call him. We've heard Coach Dimples say that he's going to most likely get the tight ends involved. He's heard all the whispers, all the yelling from people like me about how we need to get the tight ends involved going forward. So in this press conference he had a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago, he mentioned how the press most likely won't be complaining about him not getting the tight ends involved. So hopefully that happens. But let me continue reading this. So it says, but now healthy and participating in spring practice, Arroyo could have the type of season that adds his name to all the others who have come through tight end U, which we got to get back to that. Coaches believe he's had as good or better an offseason as anyone in the program. At 6'4" and 235 pounds, Arroyo has the type of size to be a matchup advantage, a matchup nightmare, really, for the Canes, who have made it a priority with Arroyo healthy to make sure the tight end is incorporated far more into the passing game. So, as you hear it here, ESPN believes that tight end Elijah Arroyo will be our breakout player of this coming season, which I think if that happens, our team will go super far because that would obviously mean that they finally got the tight ends involved, which just adds another weapon, which confuses the defense even more and not knowing who to cover. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. Do I think this is a good selection? Yeah, I think this is a really good selection as far as who could potentially be a breakout player. But I have two players that I'm thinking will most likely be better options that I would have preferred to see their names on this list instead of Elijah Arroyo. First name that I'm gonna come with is Ray Joseph. So I think just by default with the receivers that we have in place, we got X on this side, we got Crazy Man, as I call him, on the other side, who we don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know what Jacoby George is gonna do. So I just call him Crazy Man sometimes. So we got Crazy Man on one side. We got X on the other side. I think X is going to demand a double team almost every play because they know how he gets open almost every play. So I think he's going to demand a double team, which is going to leave the middle of the field wide open. And I think Ray Joseph, by default, since he's so shifty, so quick, so fast, by default, I think he's going to catch a bunch of wide open balls this season. So I think that he is most likely going to be considered, or he should be considered, the breakout player this coming season. The other player that I have in mind is Trevante Citizen. So I believe a lot of people forgot about him just based on how many injuries he's dealt with over the last few years. And if just a quick reminder, he came out of high school he had a 94 rating, which is a 4-star rating. He was the 8th running back in the nation. He was the 11th player in Louisiana. So 6 foot, he's 6'1", which is a little tall for running backs. I prefer running backs to be 5'9", 5'10", little balls of muscle is what I prefer that can hide behind the offensive line. But 6'1", 220 pounds, real shifty, quick, fast. But he's had these knee injuries. So, I'm saying, like, he looked decent against Rutgers, but how could we really know how great he looked whenever he only played just a handful of snaps, right? So I do believe with our running back leaving who just left a couple days ago, Henry, Henry Parrish. With Henry Parrish leaving, that obviously pushes Trevante Citizen up at least one notch on that depth chart. I'm thinking he's at least going to be second or third on the depth chart. He should get quite a bit of carries. If he's healthy enough, I think he will end up being our second running back, just in front of the Nebraska transfer. I think he might end up being the second, but they'll probably battle it out for second and third. I think Trevante Citizen is going to be a breakout player for us. So between the three, so let's talk about Arroyo, let's talk about Trevante Citizen and Ray Joseph. Who do I think, if I was ranking those 1, 2, or 3 breakout player, I would say Ray Joseph should be number 1. I would say Trevante Citizen should be number 2. And then I would say that Elijah Arroyo would be 3 as far as the breakout players this season. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think Elijah Arroyo is the best player on our team to be listed as a breakout potential type player? Or is there somebody else that you're thinking on the defense maybe or on the offense who could just explode on the scene and become this breakout player that nobody really expected? Let me know your thoughts on that. Really curious about it. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I truly appreciate that. Take care. God bless. Peace.